Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under, and today I'm joining in on the Ironcrafter Challenge. It's a hop on YouTube and I'm really excited to be part of it. The challenge this month was to use brads, eyelets or buttons, and I've managed to use all three on my layout. This is a cruise layout from my daughter and I. This is one of the nights that we had our photo taken. I've already done one of my daughter in the chair, and that one I thought I like this one of us. So I'm using some chipboard, and this grey piece is my framing. I have this wonderful, beautiful cutout sheet from the back of the branding strip from the Unmistakable Creations Boho Rose, I think it's called. No, it's not. It's Indie Rose, the Indie Rose collection, and it's just gorgeous. Look at these papers, aren't they beautiful? This is an Australian company, and Mel, who owns the company, I'm actually going on a cruise with her, and she's doing a crafting cruise in Alaska, so that's very exciting. Now, these papers are just beautiful and a very good quality, Australian made, and I must say she prints to pre-order amounts. I have these bronze brads and eyelets that I'm going to incorporate on the layout, and I also end up pulling in some buttons in the end. So I'm cutting off the branding strip, which I'm going to keep because it has great quotes on the bottom, and I'm going to trim down 1/4 inch off each side, and then I've cut this 3 inches in, and then I'm doing a decorative border edge for both sides, and this is because I'm going to lace this page together. Now, I really struggled with which side or which pattern to use, but because of the feather type on the top, I've done a smaller feather in the darker underneath so that it folds back over in there. I'm using another border punch across the top and the bottom here just to continue with that decorative edging and to add a little bit interest to the page. Now, I've just distressed the edges. I'm roughing them up just to add some dimension and lift them off the page. I'm not going to ink them because I have the border frame and there's already a lot going to be going on the page. So as you can see, that's my intention. I'm going to fold back the corners there like a maybe a corset type look, and then I'm going to lace it together. But first I need to adhere the pieces onto the page. Now, double-sided tape is good. You can glue it, whatever, use your tape runner, whatever, but I find that double-sided tape is stronger and more sturdy, particularly when I want to lace a layout like this, because there is a lot of manipulation of the paper. And as you can see, I'm just making sure that it's all lined up properly. It does need to fit underneath and be a nice tuck so that there's no gaps showing. And I've got it set so that it's equal across the page with the framing. Now, I've cut out a circle on my Cricut. This one was a 9-inch circle, and I'm just trimming the corners so I can tuck it in under that fold, and that's sitting on that second panel of this page. And this too I'm roughing up just to lift it off the page and give it a bit of definition so that you can see the outline of the circle better against that busy background. Most of it gets covered up, but the parts that you see, you'll be able to actually see the difference between the flat backgrounds. So now that the base of my page is done, I can get on with the lacing. Now, I've chosen a off-white ribbon, which is similar to the colours in the papers, and I'm lacing them at every third dot down the border. Now, this can be tricky, making sure that you are getting it evenly done. Once I've done the first one, I adhere that top corner to hold it in place, and then it's just a matter of going down and lacing it like you would for shoelaces and keeping them flat. So you do need to manipulate your ribbon so that when they fold over, they come down flat, then you don't have any buckles in the ribbon. And that can be a little bit tricky, but with the bigger eyelets, it's a lot easier for it to go through and manage that. When I get down to where I want to finish, I then tuck the excess ribbon down the side of the panel there, and I'm starting to tape it into place, and that way I can tighten it if I need to. And then once it's finalised, pardon me, once it's finalised, I then can adhere it so that it doesn't move at all. And that's as easy as it is to lace up a page, and it looks very, very effective, as you can see. Now, this is why people don't use the eyelets anymore, I think, because they are just a little bit fussy and a little bit tricky. And normally, I used to use them all the time, and I used to get them every single time, not a problem. But now, I don't know what goes on. I think it's because I'm not using a hard surface, really. I think I need to change when I'm doing an eyelet onto a harder surface so that they just go in. I think by having the crafting mat underneath, it's giving it a give way, and they tend to stick into the mat, which is a bit of a problem. So, as you can see, I went through quite a few of these eyelets before I managed to get just 4 in. I think I went through like 12 eyelets to get 4 into place, but that's okay. Perseverance, and finally got them in place. And they look, they're only ornamental on this page. They're not actually functional. They're not doing anything. I was originally going to eyelet the whole lot, but then I thought, no, I wouldn't. So there's the 4 eyelets. I now have one of the Iron Crafter's requirements, and I'm just layering up some more. And I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go with the dots, but I really love that flower background, so I ended up erring on my first choice, and I'm just doing it as an alternate layer underneath the photo. So now I'm using Victorian Velvet stain. Oh, if anybody knows where you can get those stains from, I really would be appreciative of knowing. I love them, but I can't seem to find them anymore, and I don't think they're made, and it's such a shame because they are so good, and I love using just the liquid stains. They are so good. All right. I'm putting in brads. Now, when I first bought these bag of brads, I had 500 of them. That's because brads were the go-to thing when, 10, 15 years ago. And now I'm down to my last, I don't know, but at the end of this layout, I think I've got about 20 left. So I might need to source some more bronze brads. I really do like brads. I know they're old school, but I still really like them on the page. I think they just add that little bit of extra, especially when you do a steampunky or a masculine page. It's really nice to have some metal on the page. And now I have inked that up with that Victorian Velvet Distress, and I also put weathered paint spray over the top to give it that mottled effect. And I'm just going to add in 2 mulberry flowers that are dimensional here. And then I go through my stash of mulberry flowers that I've had forever and a day, and I find ones that match the colours on the page, and I'm just going to build my cluster points. So I have 2 on this page. The lacing is the 3rd, so I don't need to put in one down on that bottom corner, although that's where the title is going to go. So I'm layering up my flowers, and I have dragged buttons in for the centres of those flowers. So I have now got buttons, brads and eyelets on this page. So that is the challenge for the month, and I have been able to incorporate all 3, and I love the fact that I can, because they are 3 of the most loved arsenal of my tools of creativity, I think. I do love all 3 of those. So with this title that I fussy cut out of that sheet, I have put some foam tape to pop it up. I went and found 2 more chipboard arrows, just because of the arrow in the title and those little sayings. One that points to me says, aging gracefully, and the one for my daughter is something wild and free, young, wild and free, it says. I have to think there what it's saying. Young, wild and free. So to finish it off, I'm going to add in some Nouveau drops, and these are the glitter ones. So I'm adding the glitter Nouveau drops in, and these will dry and you'll get a gold on the page, which you'll see in the stills at the end. And I'm just putting in 3 clusters of 3, and they're going down here into the bottom corners, just in the 3 different spaces of the elements that I want them to be. And there you can see how I've used the eyelets here. I have the brads going around the circle here, and I have the buttons on the flowers. So meeting all requirements of the Ironcrafters Challenge, I have put all 3 into play. And that is the layout. So I really like how it turned out. I loved how I was able to incorporate all 3 elements, and I am really excited with what it looks like. So please Feel free to copy anything that you like. Go and check out the playlist below where everybody else is playing along this month. See what they've done with their collection of Brad's eyelets and buttons. They are very talented, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of inspiration there for you. You can see these beautiful papers from Unmistakable Creations. As I said, they come together so nicely, and the lacing there is just that added touch to that final layout. So thanks for watching. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from down under. Give me a thumbs up if you like something. It always helps YouTube know that my content is what you want to see. Thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't already, hit that button to get my next notification of the new layout. Always leave me a comment. I love the feedback, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can find me on all my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap. Instagram is where everything ends up, even those without a video. Thank you once again for sticking through. Happy scrapping. Until next time.